Hello YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, wherever it is you're watching my video at. Welcome. A couple of questions people have been asking me. A couple of stocks do I think that's is going to go this year. I mean, there's a lot of stocks in the stock market that I can pick out that have great potential for this year. But hey, I got 15 minutes, so I'll give you guys three. Of top of my list right now, I've been looking at Verizon, ticker symbol VZ. Nike, ticker symbol NKE, and PALATIN Technologies. That's your lottery pick. That's your lottery I'm giving you. I'm saying I never give you anything. Alright, because this one, I think I went over this back when it was a couple of cents. Now it's almost $1 or it's close to the dollar range. But let's take a look at ticker symbol VZ, Verizon, first one. Verizon been underperforming, even though the market been performing very well. Quickly, let me remove these drawings. Alright, quick fast. Let's go over this quick fast. Alright, Verizon hit a high back 2016 here. Alright, coming back from the low of 2015. You see this low, massive sell off right here. Well, sell off started right here, begin back here. But you had this sell off, and then buyers came down here and bought it all the way back up. Alright, then you had some sideways action, then another low. Alright, well, this was the low point that from this low you trended up, making new highs. Okay, just remember that pattern. All right, so let's take it this low, because this low is very important, because this is the low. This low to stop the bleeding. All right, and that low goes back to 2015. All right, I'm just gonna draw the trend line. Remember, none of this happened yet over here. Okay, if you look at from this point, this was the low. I mean the high. From this high, Verizon went straight down. Alright, don't have to be perfect with the trend lines, but I'm just showing you. From this, it's almost like when the trend lines intersect, the stock does the opposite. Alright, and that's why I use a lot of trend lines when I trade, trend line support. I don't really use too much indicators, because the indicators to me, they sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Alright, remember this low right here. You see this low right here? From this, you had this little move, it came back and it stopped right on this trend line from the high. Couldn't cross it, so it pulls right back down. Couldn't hold the moving averages, came all the way back down. To our surprise, remember this trend line from 2015 that I just drew here? Look, it came back down and to test this trend line. So remember in 2015 what happened? This trend line, it went sideways and then boom, popped up new highs. So I'm looking for this same setup to happen here, to happen here. Why? Because you have this low, very significant, came back, same support line, support point right here. So if I draw this trend line back up, I expect this to continue. It's upward momentum here. All right, could draw it down here. It doesn't make a difference. Because that's why, because all your moving averages are starting to converge right here. So you have, and it's not too far extended neither. Alright, so you have your 50-day moving average, your 20-day moving average just coming up right here. You got your 50-day, which is gonna be somewhere right here. Then you have your 200-day Snell moving average, which is gonna be somewhere here. So this is the setup I'm looking at right now in Verizon. The high right here. This is the setup I'm looking at in Verizon. Yeah. So if it doesn't hold right here, you can look for it to come test this. This was the high in Verizon. And we are close to this high. This was the high that it fell at. Excuse me on that one. This was the high where it fell at. Okay, so this is the range. This zone, this range is where I'm expecting Verizon to play in. All right, anywhere in here. So this is a good place if you're gonna own. So like I said, some of these companies you don't trade, you own them for a little bit, and then you get rid of your positions. You adjust your positions accordingly. All right, so I expect Verizon to continue at least come test the $60 mark before even having a major pullback. Earnings, they had earnings, so everything is looking in the green. Your MACD right here just came over, touched the 0 line. You have your momentum still up, your money flow still to the upside. So Verizon overall is looking good. And you know, do your due diligence before you just hop in and trade Verizon, because I tell you to trade Verizon. I'm in Verizon. So me, whether it goes down, whether it goes up, I make money or I lose money. Alright? So do your due diligence. I am not your financial advisor. So move on to the next is Nike. Those are my three. And as you can see, I did the same thing for Nike. Give you guys the heads up, the drawings. So I'm going to remove them. So I got to do, you know, my own analyzing of the stock before I even talk about it. So you see right here, Nike. Let's look at Nike again. This is 2015. You had a low, $45. From this low, Nike followed this trend line, right, till it hit the high right here. This was the high Nike hit. So we're gonna keep this high. None of this happened yet. This is 2018. Let's not look at 2018. Let's just figure out where was Nike going, where's Nike coming from, and figure that out. All right. So from this was the high. We draw the high sideways, but we draw the trend line also to the downside, because as you can see, it came down, tested, boom, hit the trend line, find resistance, couldn't hold support on any of the moving averages, the 20 or the 50, and it came down here and kind of found a bottom temporarily right here, popped up. Now the moving averages now became resistance, so now it couldn't even go across the moving averages. And around this time, I remember Nike was starting to get smacked by Adidas, with the news Adidas and this, Adidas, blah, blah, blah. So some people were smart enough to start buying Nike from way down here. Alright, you know, some people waited, like me, I waited. You know, but not that buying it down here wouldn't still give you the same results, because this is a company that have earnings, that make good product, that survive all the world wars. And especially where I'm from, people was always buying stupid Nike shoes. So this is a great company that people, you know, it's a good consumer goods company. So you know what Nike is. So back to the charts, you see it popped up here again. Try to hold the moving average, couldn't. Came back down. Then come test the 200-day moving average, but look, popped up again. Look, until it came all the way down here to find the old trend line support from here that we drew from this high. How ironic is that? And look where it comes to find this line at. And then it climbed all the way back down, follow the trend line down, finding resistance on the trend line. Alright, it bumped its head on the trend line, bumped its head in the trend line until it found the 200-day moving average here. To the DMT, 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks, could have been 4 weeks if I caught this one. And it popped up from there. Right, so from the 200-day moving average, you have a new run-up that's going on in Nike. Alright, so you have your 20-day moving average, which is close to the trend line, but we could just do it anyway. It looks like it's going to do this. You have your 50-day moving average. It looks like it's about to do this. And you have your 200-day moving average. That looks like it's about to do this. So me, I always look at my ranges that I want to play in. So this was the high, the pullback from the high, and this is where it fell at. I always like using that. This is where it fell at. As you can see, you had a nice pullback where it fell at. Right? There's so many things you can do on the chart. So right here, I have a nice little range. That's all I look for. I have a nice little range in here that I can play with my technicals. Looking at other things like volume, other technicals to make my decision. So right here, momentum is up. So if Nike even pull back, I'm looking for it to pull back into this zone right here. Now you have 1, 2, which is not bad, but worst come to worst scenario, it's going to fall back somewhere down here. So even this moving average I drew, maybe it comes down here somewhere. All right, maybe that's what it does. Okay, but this is my range in here that I can play with. Alright, so you don't buy all at once. You buy, if you're going to buy 100, you buy 25 in this zone. If it comes back here, 25. If it starts to pull back, 25. If it dip on your ass, then you buy 25 more. No, I'm all kidding, but this is how you would enter this trade. Because if you was down here, I would say, yeah, you know, you would add to your position. But down here, up here, hit a high, we're looking and waiting for this pullback. Might not happen. That's why I'm saying you got to scale in. All right, because I did a video on this back when it was back down here. So you got to go back and check through my channel, or just put in Nike. It might pop up. All right, so that's my take on Nike. The last but not least is PTN. PALATIN Technologies, ticker symbol PTN. And this was another one I did a little quick research on. And then this one, as you can see, it had a nice little move back here. And all this is back in 2015. The market was buzzing then. All right, 2015 had a nice little move, had a high right here, came back, had a nice pullback. Really didn't test the high. It faked everybody out by doing this pattern right here. It came all the way up. Look how long this candle is, and then it gave everything back. At least 70% it was given back to me. Okay, so this is not a good sign that this was gonna go anywhere, because it gave too much back on that during this week right here. It gave too much back, because if it held some of this back, then I can see how this was gonna, you know, this was gonna held higher. But from this was a bad sign that you should get out of this stock the moment you had a chance. All right, because now it came down to try to test the moving averages right here. It failed, came all the way down. So what I'm looking at is here, right here. Draw a quick trend line, and this is the trend line. This is the trend line I would be looking at from here to down here to see when is this gonna cross over. As you can see, from that point on, it's been below all the moving averages. Try right here, find resistance, try to pop up way up here. I don't know how it was gonna do that, but got pushed right back down. And then right here was a low. From this low here, now you're starting to see it's starting to make a different pattern to the upside. So once it crossed over here, was this for real? Then you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks onto the 200-day moving average. Then you have another couple of weeks of consolidating on the 200-day moving average. Wait a minute, what the hell's going on here? And then here you have another up move, all right, coming back to almost retest this high. This is really the high I'm looking at. Now, I'm not looking at that 158, because this is false. All right, so I'm looking at this right here. So it's close to testing this high. So if this pattern can continue, PALATIN Technologies is one I did back, I think when it was like 40 cents, 50 cents. I did it back over here. I did a few videos on this, but you can go back and check the video. But this is the next move I'm looking for PALATIN Technologies, is to come back and retest this right here. You have a strong move up here. You have your 200-day moving average, which is sitting right here. All right. This is my trend line. You have your 50-day, which is looking like it's going to curve up here. And you have this moving average right here, which is not too far extended from where price is. So if this move can continue, you know, in parallel to where price is, this is a good 1% deviation from where the chart, I mean the moving average is. So this is not, you know, too far off. All right, it's not too far extended. So this is a good, you know, chart pattern if this can continue right here. And if it can continue, it might come back and break this 110. All right, I'm not gonna look at this 158, because this is a long wick that should not even have happened. All right, I shouldn't even say should not even happen. But anytime you trade a stock and you give this much back, when you look at a bigger time frame chart and you see a candle that gives this much back, get out immediately. All right, so this is my take on PALATIN Technologies. So now that it broke the trend line here, let's see if it can continue. So if it doesn't continue, you have support right here, and I'm looking to play this stock inside of here. So as long as it stays inside of this zone right here, I'm perfectly okay with it, and I'm hoping that it comes back and try to break this 110, 10 cents away, 11 cents away, which is not impossible. So that's my take on that. I hope you guys have a great, wonderful day. I'll try to make a couple more this week. All right, enjoy. Peace.